This morning I am arguably picking up the most popular brand of wood over the last 5 years to ever be made, and it definitely shows when it comes to the price. And again, this is incredible, 169, 162. This is close to what they came out as brand new. Guys, good morning, welcome back to a brand new video. Simon down outside the Spotted Cow in Swindon. Going to pick up 3 G400 woods, driver, fairway, and these things are close on 5 years old. 2018 these virtually came out, same year as the 917, same year as the F8, same years I think as the ST180, and unlike all its counterparts in that list, this thing almost retains the exact same value, especially the fairways, as what they were at retail 5 years ago, which goes to show me one thing, and this is why I love the second-hand market. Exactly, supply and demand. Which ones tried and tested work the best for the majority of golfers? Who goes and buys a club, sells a club, buys a club, sells a club, and then finds, hang on, I found something that just works and it's just beautiful for my game. If it's 80 miles an hour or 60 miles an hour or 100 miles an hour, and over the general public, I have found, especially when I did fit for it back those 5 years ago, it did work for pretty much everyone. Hence why I believe the fairways are going for £150, why the driver's still going well above £200 in great condition. And we're going to go and pick up 3 now in great condition for £310. Normally you're used to me picking up sets of clubs for like 100 or 150, and it goes to show how popular these clubs are in the public's eye when I'm picking up 3 clubs for basically £100 each, 5 years old, and I'm going, that's a great deal. Right, boys and girls, deals have been done. This was actually, I'll show you both listings. The driver itself was listed at £155, and I just thought, oh, it's just not worth it coming all this way to Swindon for £155. But then he also listed both the woods for £170 for the pair of them. So I asked, would he do 310? No, I asked 300 for the lot. He said 310, and so that's what exactly I have paid, 310. And the head covers look in fantastic condition, which is brilliant. I'm going to get these down the range. I'm going to give them a clean. We're going to do some long drive training for myself this morning, and I'm going to give these a hit. And let's just have a little price comparison between everything else in the market. I mean, you see me do videos on clubs that have come out last year that are going for less than what this did, I don't know, 5 years ago, which just goes to show how popular it is in the public's eye. And it is the next day. If you saw yesterday's video, you'll know that I kind of cut this one short just to quickly make that as a revelation. And you're probably, by the time you see this video, you would have seen Rick's review on the F9S, which I'm very excited to see. And obviously at this point in time, I don't actually know the results. G400, speaking of the gentleman of Rick, he actually named G400 as well in one of his videos last night as well as one of the most popular, and I can see why, great minds think alike. But this driver here, as I said earlier, is basically chosen by the public, tried and tested. People put it in their bag and just fell in love with it, and it won't come out. You know why? Because it finds a fairway and it's forgiving, and just like Rick said in his video, it's not the longest driver, it never will be, and it wasn't designed to be. And against the Epic and the Rogue around that time as well, these were very much high launching, low spinning drivers that were just designed and destined to give you that one long ball that goes a mile, especially for the big hitters. However, for your average golfer, and as I said this at the start of my video, I hope I did anyway, I loved club fitting for this. Because whether you're 70 or 30, a beginner or a 10, 12 handicap or whatever it might be, these were just easy to hit. People love the sound, they love the feel. You could find multiple different shafts that would suit, and it would get the ball up in the air with a bit more spin and a bit more forgiveness, and on average it was longer. Okay, one ball from the Epic would go an absolute mile, but what about the 4 or 5 that you slice and dink it up in the air and the averages weren't as good? They're the ones for me that would be more of a warning sign, whereas these were just steady and smooth. And as you see in the price, and I know Rick obviously said they're a lot more reasonable than brand new drivers, which they are, but in the second-hand market versus, let's say, what came out the same year, a 917 Titleist Driver, that retailed at £50 more when it came out than these, but you can get them, as I'll show you the listings here, at a very reasonable cost. From memory serves me, we're talking a 917 Titleist Driver, which again, as I say to a lot of people that ask me, Simon, I only want to spend a bit of money, but I want a decent driver, 917 is what I suggest. I don't suggest this because it's still quite a lot. As I said in this video, 220 pounds for a driver on average for the G400, 149 pounds. There's a reason I'm holding two, by the way. I've already sold one. The fairway wood sold last night, the 3, and that sold for 149 pounds. So they're sought after, but that means obviously the price is then going to be higher. Whereas the 917, I'll show you some of the 917 fairway wood prices here. We're talking £80, £70 for a 3 wood, a 5 wood, and it was just a progression, not because Titleist weren't making great fairway woods. I think people just kind of got bored of the same look of the 910, 913, 915, 917, and the premium just keep on going up. There wasn't much change to the colour or the weighting or anything else like that in the public's eye. Now boys, I was going to hit these for you and show you the ball flights, but sadly with that sun there, you're going to see absolutely nothing. So I'm going to include 2 previous videos back in the day that I did on these clubs. They're going to prove the point just as well, especially one with the Ping G400 7 wood, which I think if you have one of those nowadays, you probably have a deposit on a new house. And this is the reason that I want you guys to watch this channel, just so you have a bit of awareness. So if you do find a Facebook deal that has a lot of G400 stuff, and I still feel like I paid a pretty good price for obviously the clubs themselves. Obviously I paid slightly cheaper, £310, but still £310 for 2 fairway woods and a driver that came out, I don't know, 4 to 5 years ago, compared, let's say if I paid £310 for a set of 917s, so 917 fairway wood, and a driver, you probably would have said, Simon, why have you paid that much money? But the G400s, just because of this, just because of the image that they have and the popularity that they have with the public, it is deemed a good deal. And you can see here again, prices: G400 driver, £190. Someone got a good deal, someone got a good deal. £80 for a G400 shaft, that's incredible. 180, 220, 189, consistent 239 for again a G400, 249. It's not uncommon to find these drivers selling for 200 to 250 pounds in good condition, because very rightly said in Rick's video, they're doing just as much as all the newer stuff that's coming out at the moment, and dare I say slightly more forgiving, because their emphasis wasn't on distance. And again, a similar story when it comes into the drivers. Obviously you can see mine there sold at 149 yesterday on the 8th. Again, another one for 150, which is incredible. 103, 134, 133, 149, and again this is incredible. 169, 162. This is close to what they came out as brand new. And let me tell you how I know that. Didn't realise yesterday when I was picking up this club, you can see there 169. That was sold in a shop for £170, and I know this what they retailed at because I was in the shop at the time, club fitting for these, £170, and these are selling second hand used 4 years later for £10 to £20 cheaper than that, which is incredible and a testament to what an unbelievable club it is, because the marketing's died down. There's been 4 new clubs from many different manufacturers out in the market, yet people are willing to pay and willing to buy this club because of word of mouth and people from the public. And let's say once the dust has settled, you're just left with a club that just performs, and obviously the performance itself is shining through in the price. Now, very rarely do I ever talk about technology when it comes to golf clubs, because I lose adjectives or ways to describe how technology has changed and what these clubs are giving more than most. But specifically from the fairways point of view, which I've seen with the G series and especially with the G400, and the G series I would say is exactly the same as the G400, even though the G400 for me personally had better shafts. And I openly said when this club came out how I thought it just looked so boring and bland, why they went with brown. But over the years, don't get me wrong, it's kind of grown on me. But in terms of heel to toe, it is very long. You have to understand the majority of manufacturers have only so much volume they can fill this head with, and they have to decide where are they going to put it, where are they going to put the weight. Do we want a long ball machine like an M5 for example, or do we want a forgiving club for an everyday golfer? Where are we going to design, where are we going to put on R&D? And the majority of the R&D with the Ping G400 and even the Ping G series went into ultra forgiveness. Hence why even when the G400 Max is, this isn't the Max, but the G400 Max was even wider, so it was less top to bottom and more left to right, and all the weight was at the bottom at the back here. So then you had ultra forgiveness and ultra launch, and let's be honest, with the state that golf balls are in and where we are with shafts and everything else, people need the help, people need the ball up in the air, and that equals more distance, but more importantly more forgiveness. And with these especially fairways, it just always sits so nice to the ground, and with the very soft, regular, light flex, you might call it whippy, I call it necessary shafts that these G400s came in, the average day golfer could get a fairway or get a 5-wood off the ground. So guys, there you have it, £310, which is unusual for me to say is an absolute steal for these golf clubs, mainly because of the popularity and how well they just suit the majority of you guys out there in the golf community. If you like this video, leave it a like, subscribe if you are new. Catch you guys later.